Let me ask an expert now about the various frauds I've mentioned. He's broadcaster and technology commentator, the best in the business, Trevor Long. Trevor Long, thank you so much for joining us again. Listen, first off, how would my wife's credit card details, which included, obviously, the security code on the back, have been copied and used? And how can viewers make sure it doesn't happen to them?
Well, I think that's the biggest question here, because Australia's actually got had a big success in moving away from the swiping of credit cards, which was that magnetic strip that used the number and the expiry and all that stuff. We now use that chip and pin process. So I do worry about this on a grand scale, Andrew, because in Australia we haven't had this on a big level. So I think the number one potential problem here is any potential hacks that have occurred that your details might have been obtained through. Secondly, any form of skimming that might have happened. So where your wife might have swiped the card and there was a skimming device in place that, like an ATM where you put your card in and it skims the details, and then they actually look over your shoulder and look for PIN details and things like that. So unfortunately, this crime still exists, still happens, and we need to stay ever vigilant about where we use our credit cards. And the one advice I would give is not to use cards where possible. I am fully digital, and I know a lot of people are scared of that, but using Apple Pay and Google Pay, where you tap and go with your phone, is actually way more secure than a physical card.
Even tap and go with a credit card on your phone, that's safer than that, is it?
Yeah, so the comparison between tapping a credit card and tapping your phone, the phone uses a unique token. It never actually transmits the card number. So it is actually far more secure. And of course, it's also locked by your face or your fingerprint. And so there's an extra level of security around that phone transaction. So I would advise everyone to go fully digital.
So card on the phone, not in your hand. Got it. Great advice. Now, the deep fake technology that had me supposedly interviewing the world's richest man to get viewers sucked into a scam. Here's a little bit of it for you to look at. Have a look.
We believe it is reasonable to claim that the experience is legitimate and that the trading application allows users to enjoy trading without any problem.
Trevor, that's supposedly me. Deep fake scams. Are they becoming a problem? I only heard about deep fake, I think, 2 years ago. Where is this coming from?
It's advanced technology. Think about the amazing technology that exists in movies. They can do so many things to bring actors into a movie that aren't actually even acting in the movie. And so that technology is becoming normalised, and it's becoming available to average citizens on the internet. And so that video is pretty good, but now imagine they add your voice properly into it. So you've got voice technology that allows me to type something and have Andrew Bolt say it. And then we've got deepfake video technology that allows me to have a face lip sync to the words that I've chosen. This is going to be the biggest problem we have over the next 10 years, because not just in those kind of circumstances you've been caught in here, but in news and media. Is the clip we're running real? Or did this actually happen? And unfortunately, with the rise of social media, average people are not fact-checking the videos they share. And so newsrooms, are the last bastion of actually sub-editing vision and clips and making sure that what we show is real. But that doesn't happen on social media.
That is spooky. So one day we'll be asking, did Joe Biden actually die last year, or is this a deep fake I'm looking at? Today we learned, Trevor, that hackers stole the personal data of 14 million customers of Latitude Financial. That's a lending company, including passport numbers, driver's license details, telephone numbers, addresses, etc., etc. There's also a ransomware attack in Crown Casino. They say no private data was stolen, but who knows? And that comes after, of course, the Optus and Medibank. They were both hacked. Details of nearly 10 million customers apiece stolen. Mate, we seem to be seeing this so often. The companies must be on notice. They must be doing their best. This is getting extremely serious. How serious are these latest attacks?
I don't think they are doing their best, Andrew. If I was in any position of power in any company that held Australians' data, I would have locked down to the extreme after the Optus, then Medibank situation. The bigger issue here for Latitude Financial, which they need to be fronting the government about, in my view, is why were they storing information from applicants and customers, past and present applicants, from the year 2005, 18 years worth of data. The actual risk to the customers isn't extreme. There are about 100,000 people I'm most worried about because the physical photo of their driver's license is available, which is essentially the worst case scenario because the fraud that could be exhibited upon them. But for the 8 to 14 million people, it's really just more of your details out there. But the thing is, all those people are going to become victims of more scams, more fraudulent emails, more fake phone calls. And those are the things that these companies will never be able to measure. You know, so Optus CEO Kelly Bayer Rosmarin was on the record saying no Optus customer lost money during this hack or as a result of this hack. That's outrageous to say because you'll never know what the outcome of these scams are going to be. And individuals, and you mentioned it earlier, Andrew, the number of people that report credit card fraud, let alone anything else. People are afraid to admit to being scammed. You don't want to admit that you lost $1,000 on a credit card, let alone $10,000 of your life savings to a scam. We have to normalise it so that people feel comfortable telling their friends, their family and ScamWatch and authorities so that we have more information about what's going on, because the more information we have, the more we can actually cut down and hopefully block some of these scams.
You're right. Trevor, it was embarrassing to admit that I was caught. I mean, I like to pretend I know everything, but there you go, I don't. Trevor Long, thank you so much indeed for your time. Really appreciate it.